Welcome to this series. In the next several videos, we introduce computer networks from a historical perspective, examine the components that make a network, and then discuss some networking models. During part 1 of this three-part series, we take a look at Internet from a historical perspective. Please take a moment to read the learning objectives for this video. So then, why should we learn about the Internet? Firstly, it affects all aspects of our lives. As we discussed during the first video series, the Internet and telecommunications are vital to our lives, and we cannot live without them. For example, if there is no electronic transfer of money, then the banking system stops to function, or you could not buy a train ticket. Understanding how the Internet and networks operate at a detailed level helps us to understand the world around us. The Internet started as an experimental network called ARPANET, which was developed in 1969, so that 5 locations could share research information. These sites are information centers, which are represented by servers or hosts. In 1991, the Internet hosted the first public server, which gave way to the World Wide Web. By 2005, there were almost 65 million websites. The graphic shows interconnections in network hosts. Think of each cluster as a geographical location, such as a city. Each line is a connection from that area to another location. The location might be the end of the line, or it might be another populous location. In just 15 years after the launch of the first website, there were over 1 billion websites worldwide. The graphic shows more than only websites. Each dot represents a server that hosts an internet service. This graphic shows the geographical diversity of the Internet. The center of the image contains the greatest number of interconnections, which is dominated by Europe and North America. The further to the outside, the less connected the networks. For example, North Korea might have the countrywide network but with limited connectivity to the rest of the world. The small subsection shows the complexity of connections in the outer regions of the Internet. The Internet is an everyday institution that people use at work, home, and on the go. This worldwide connectivity is essential to the world in which we live. The Internet has had a phenomenal impact on society, and it continues to enable societies to change. Firstly, it provides easy access to knowledge through sites such as Wikipedia. Next, it changes how people shop. It has caused internet shopping and access to goods that are not locally accessible. Thirdly, dating sites such as Match.com had changed how people find a compatible person to date. Over 40% of Americans use online dating. Lastly, encrypted networks like Tor allow users to browse the internet anonymously. Encrypted chat clients such as WhatsApp and Telegram enable users to communicate without censorship. The Internet is an engine for economic growth. It allows business access to new markets. For example, China's Alibaba sold over $25 billion worth of product on the 2017 11/11 Global Shopping Festival. Kids in the US are making thousands of dollars a month buying and reselling items online through the marketplaces such as Amazon.com. Next, online advertising is replacing traditional methods such as flyers in a newspaper. Thirdly, small startup businesses and entrepreneurs have access to funding through microloans and crowdsourcing. Finally, the electronic transfer of money allows the business to access startup capital or for family member working abroad to send money home. The changes that drive the social impact happen continuously. Researchers are continually developing new technologies that social scientists, businesses, and others are exploring how to use in ways that ultimately affect society. Today's internet is different from yesterday's. The early internet was suitable for text or small images. Now we can stream movies or watch real-time broadcasts. Tomorrow's internet will be different than we know today. However, the fundamentals of the internet stay the same. This chart shows the results of some of the significant changes that they've taken place over the last few decades. The emergence of the web resulted in content distribution networks. No longer is data concentrated in a few locations but broadly accessible. Digital songs and video drove the development of peer-to-peer file sharing. BitTorrents are an updated form of this technology. Cheaper internet costs enabled web conferencing and VoIP calls. Advances in wireless technology allowed for the emergence of mobile devices that one can use for voice and high-speed data communications. Broadband internet or high-speed home internet access allowed for home users to stream videos. In summary, we took a brief look at the internet from a historical perspective and the change it enacted. The 1970s experimental network gave way to the first public website in 1991. In 15 years, the internet hosts over 1 billion websites. This phenomenon has had a significant impact on the world around us. A few examples that we looked at are the impact on societies and economies. People now have access to information through sites like Wikipedia or can purchase products online through AliExpress. The internet changes economies by enabling access to new markets and the electronic transfer of money. Lastly, the internet and telecommunication technologies are continually evolving.